We're offline.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive!
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Meddling kid. Trace the call. It's coming from inside the
Be a
house.
friend. Be buried.
How's it going, people, and welcome to another episode of Adventures in Murderland. We are an LGBTQ plus true crime comedy podcast hosted by me, Mike James, and the Pepper to my Tony, Alan Cassidy.
Hey guys.
Hello. Before we get started, if you want to just jump straight into the grizzly murder, the time code for that will be in the show notes down below. Also, if you haven't already follow us on all of our social media at Murderland Pod, and also on our Facebook page, Adventures in MRDR Land, or just type in Adventures in Murderland. I'm pretty sure we do come up.
Yeah, it does.
Also, both mine and Alan's personal Twitters and my YouTube channel will be in the show notes down below as well, if you want to go and keep up a little chitty chat with us in between the episodes.
Yes.
Good times?
Good times.
Good times all around. So, you said in the last episode of the podcast that you were going to, you promised, you said, I will hold you to a promise, that you were going to come up with some sort of conversation topic for us to discuss in the first sort of 10 minutes of the episode, because I don't feel that I give you enough chance to talk, because I talk a lot.
I forgot.
No, you forgot what it was you were going to talk about, or you just forgot to come up with an idea?
I forgot to come up with an idea.
Okay. So you promised last week. You're so adamant. For anyone who didn't listen to last week's episode, just go back and listen to how sure he was that he was going to do this.
I can actually say that it is something.
What? Go on.
The Shane Dawson YouTube series.
The Shane Dawson YouTube series with Jeffree Star. We are enjoying that very much. Yes. What's the comment that you wanted to discuss about that?
I think it's really cool, and it's like shows a different insight to Jeffree Star.
I love Jeffree Star, and you know this because I first showed him to you, right? And because you knew about him.
I knew about him.
Days, but am I right in saying you weren't too much into the look, or?
Yeah, I didn't get it at first.
You're like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It seems too aggressive, maybe, for you?
A little bit.
Yeah. For me, I got it. Loved it. Glamour. Glitz. As a huge Bowie fan, I was just immediately attracted to this strange gender fuck alien thing that was in front of me. But it was the music that when I showed you the music, right?
That's what I started liking.
That's when you started liking it, because you just saw the look, didn't like the look, and then didn't bother listening to music. But his music's really good.
Oh, his music's awesome.
And I'm really glad that Shane Dawson in his YouTube series is sort of showing more of the music, and hopefully he'll put out some more music.
Well, his whole album's come on Spotify now.
It has, where it hadn't before, but yeah, I hope he puts out some new tunes. Yeah. Some little sick jams for your bad, cool cats out there. Yes. But yeah, why don't we call people cool cats anymore, Alan?
Because we're not in the 60s.
Yes, but why did that fade? Let's bring it back. Okay. Let's bring it back, you cool, crazy cats.
And use the hashtag cool cats.
Cool cats.
With a Z.
I think that hashtag's probably been appropriated by all the sort of cat people out there. The same people who post. Probably. I know a friend of mine posted a picture of her cat on Instagram the other day, and I put on the hashtag pussies of Instagram, and surprisingly, it wasn't what you thought that hashtag would be. It actually is just a bunch of cats. Which I thought it would be like, crotch shots or something.
Yeah, Instagram doesn't allow nudity though in the slightest, doesn't it?
No, but some people push it pretty freaking far. If you just type in hashtag gay or anything on Instagram, you're like, I'm sure it's pretty much softcore porn.
Oh yeah, definitely.
At best. Okay, so that's...
and a bit of soap suds just covered in the bits
Oh,
of.
they are the worst. Why? And the bathroom lighting is never good lighting for a naked selfie. And that's why everyone looks so drowned. Like, body hair doesn't look good wet, in my opinion. Some people might love it. I don't think it looks great.
Yeah, it looks alright.
Mine doesn't look so great. All wet. I look like, do you ever remember seeing the koalas? Have you ever seen a koala? They look so cute. Normally, so cute and cuddly and nice and sweet. But if you Google wet koala, have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
I've not actually seen this.
Wet koala. So this is what is essentially like me. So I might look relatively half. No, I don't know what I'm even trying to say. I might look not the worst in the world when I'm not wet, but
Excuse me.
when I'm not wet. But then once I'm in the water, have you seen a wet koala? Wet koala, terrifying.
Okay, it looks evil. It looks like it's
Terrifying.
gonna come and eat me.
Yes, exactly. For anyone out there who hasn't Googled wet koala, go and check it out because they are not the cute, cuddly little things that you think. Didn't one of One Direction get like hepatitis D from that as well? I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think one of One Direction got hepatitis D from a koala or something like that.
Oh well.
Not through like sexual.
No, you can't get hepatitis D from sexual stuff.
I don't know. I don't know which hepatitis you get, but I'm collecting them all. Hepatitis A, hepatitis B. Make a little collection of my hepatitis collection. Okay, so I think
Oh dear.
I think we are well and truly done in terms of warming ourselves up.
I kind of fulfilled my thing.
Kind of. Yes, you did give us a jumping off point for further bullshittery, which is fantastic. Think of another one for next week. A double dares ya.
Yeah, we'll do.
Dares ya. But for now, though, let's jump into what everybody, all the millions of listeners have tuned in for. Let's
I wish.
jump into the grizzlies. 2001, and in the Henan province of central China, the community is horrified at reports of young men seemingly disappearing into thin air. However, this was just the start of what would eventually be revealed to be a 3-year murder spree. The people would blame the police. The police blamed kung fu movies and video games. But the true culprit of these crimes was nothing more than a man. A man who would go on to fulfill his dream of becoming an assassin.
What?
This is the story of Huang Yong. He doesn't have an AKA.
Oh, doesn't he?
I mean, I found one.
What was
Usually it's like Huang Yong, AKA the big belly bastard or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this one doesn't have an AKA. The one that I found was the teenage killer, which I couldn't see that. I couldn't see that being used in popular circulation in relation to him.
It might sound something cool in like Chinese.
I think so, but the direct translation of it does not really work. And I think that's probably why a lot of the things that I read about it don't include that, because it's not menacing. It's not like the Grinder Killer or the Bay City Roller. that's a band. I don't know. But yeah. So this is about Huang Yong. I'm sure that there is a few names in this, by the way, which I may pronounce horrifically, and I do apologise in advance in regards to that. I'm not being disrespectful to anyone or anyone's cultures or anything like that. And also, I do feel I've done really well on this because the story will, as you'll figure out, we don't know too much about this. There's not been too much revealed, but we'll find out why and everything later on, and we'll go into it. But I'm quite proud that I feel I have actually got at least a full episode's worth of material here. So let's find some shit out. So even though, like I said, this actually happened in the early 2000s, and even so, still not much was revealed or sort of got out about it. I've put down here is that my suspicion is that the Chinese government kept a lot of the details to themselves, and that they just sort of do things a little differently when it comes to these sort of crimes. Where I feel like us in the West, we like to read about all the ins and outs of the gruesome and the grislies, and the news medias over here, they definitely like to sort of sensationalize sort of crimes and serial killers. Just so they can get like headlines and things out there. But China, I think they may be maybe a bit like I don't know, because like Japan's kind of that, right? So I don't know if that's like in that area of the world, people are just a bit more pragmatic and a bit more reserved about these things. Probably, to be fair, a bit more respectful in general. Yeah, they don't want to upset anyone. But what we do know about Huang Yong, can I just call him Yong? Yeah. Usually I don't go for just the surname thing, but I'm just going to go for the surname because Huang, I keep going to get that wrong.
Huang.
It's like Spanish and Mexican. So Yong for me is probably easier. So what we do know about Yong is that he was born on November 18th, 1974. His dad was a Chinese pig farmer, and he was born and raised in the Henan province. At 17, this is when he first began forming his fascination with murder, and he is quoted as saying, "I have always wanted to be an assassin since I was a kid. I wanted to know the thrill it gives." Mm-hmm. Spookalicious, right? And are you not very proud of me that I didn't even attempt a Chinese accent?
I'm glad that you did.
I'm so glad. I wasn't even going to go there, because that would have just caused a lot of fucking trouble for me. My American accents are bad. Fuck my Scottish accent. My accents are bad. So if I was going to try to do Chinese, no. Fuck it.
Don't even
I can do it without that. So like a lot of these dudes that we talk about, he actually did serve some time in the army. Afterwards, he returned to living with his parents in what is described as being a dilapidated building surrounded by dead trees and rubble. Doesn't sound like the most picturesque of locations. As he got older, his parents moved out, and they worked in the main city again as Chinese pig farmers. Mm-hmm. Well, just pig farmers, as they call them in China. They don't call them Chinese pig farmers. It's like in China, they don't call Chinese food Chinese food. It's food.
What did they call like English food?
English food. Or I don't know. Horrible.
Garbage.
Not good. Not good food. Unhealthy food. But his parents would obviously, when they lived in the city, he lived back at the horrible place. But they would still send him money so that he could live. So they weren't really earning much, I don't think, by the way the house probably was, but they were earning enough to suffice his lifestyle.
Okay.
Yong is reported to have had a girlfriend living with him at one point, but the neighbours reported that the relationship actually fell apart after she got pregnant. This is really sad, because apparently his girlfriend got an abortion, which led to her leaving him for good. And it's thought that it was this that maybe pushed him over the edge a little bit.
Okay.
Which is sad, because... but this is neighbours who have reported this, so...
But at the same time, if she doesn't feel comfortable to be with him, why should she be with him?
No, definitely. And if she doesn't feel she's in a position to be able to have that child...
Yeah, exactly.
Then that's her decision. It's her body. So it wasn't too long after that whole situation where Yong, at 27 years old, would start to slowly piece together his plan and make preparations of fulfilling his dream of becoming an assassin. Huang Yong's 3-year murder spree was now about to begin. The earliest reported disappearance / potential victim, so this one isn't 100% confirmed, was the son of a man called Wang Liu Chao. He noticed in January 2001 that his son was missing from the boarding school he'd sent him to, and of course he immediately went to the officials to let them know, my son's missing. What the fuck? The case was brushed off as a runaway, and the school never apologised for failing to initially report the disappearance. It's never been confirmed, like I said, that he was indeed a victim, but given the timing of it and the circumstances, or the MO of who it would be,
kind of matches up.
Right, okay. So even though it's not an official one, highly likely that this is the case. The next reported disappearance and the first actual official victim would be a young boy named Lu Ningbo.